Okay, now we're going to look at some problems where ABC does not work. Okay, we need to solve the equation for the x variable. Okay, now here's a problem. You got two ratios, and we're going to make a third ratio. Now, the ABC only works if there's just two ratios. This has three. So when there are three ratios, that's a game changer. Okay, you need to use the way you add the fractions. Blank plus blank equals a third blank. Okay, now you're not going to factor anything right here. Okay, and I'm going to go through this entire thing with you. So you got a 7 and a 2, 3 and x, and 3. Now LCD is in this square here. So I have outer 2, outer x, and nothing. Okay, don't put a 1 there. Okay, that's stupid. Just leave it empty. Okay, so outer 2 I have 1, I have 0, and I have 0. So I need to get everything so they have 1. Okay, so I'm going to put a 2 here. It doesn't matter where you put the 2, times 2 on top. And then same thing here, because now that's technically 6 over 2, which is the same as 3. Outer x, I have 0, 1, and 0. Remember, if I run across the second power, that means there are 2. Okay, so x, 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 x. Now, here's the good news. When you have an equation and all the denominators are the same, you can ignore the denominators, okay? And this makes this a pretty easy problem. You can have 7x plus 3 times 2 is 6 equals, no rainbows, you just take 3 times 2, which is 6, and then 3 times 2x, it's 6x. Okay, now you're going to want to write what you have. You have x only. You have 2 of them, so pick one of them to get rid of, probably this one. So there's only one answer. So negative 6 equals x. Okay, that's easy, pretty much a walk in the park. Now, these do get tougher, but for now we'll keep it, follow the KISS rule. Okay, you don't have to factor. Eventually you're going to get ones you do have to factor. You just drop everything. Okay, you don't have to parenthesize anything. So LCD is only outer, so you're going to have outer x, outer 3, and nothing. So outer x, I got 1, 0, 0. And then, okay, outer 3, I have 0, I have 1, I have 0. We need to make it so everything has 1, okay? So I've just put a 3 here. I already got the 3 here. 3. Okay. Now that the denominators are all the same, they can be canceled, and I can just focus on getting my answer from the top. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 4x. 2x times 3 is 6x. So what's going on with x? Well, you have just regular x only, so it's simple algebra, okay? No square roots, no factoring, none of that crap, okay? Pick an x to get rid of, probably the 4. So 6 equals 2x, and I divide by 2, and x equals 3. Do your equation work down there. Okay, my next problem. Underline, underline. If you got one ratio, we're going to want 3. Don't put 1s under those. You don't want. That's a distraction. 10x, x empty, 7x. Okay, so on my LCD, the only thing I have to worry about is outer x. I have 1. Remember, up here don't count. It's down here, and I don't have any down here. So everything needs 1. So x, and you can just put that to the second. X, and then you can just put that to the second. Okay, the bottom is now eliminated, and I have simply 10. I don't even have to multiply. Plus 1x to the second. I like that coefficient of 1 there, equals 7x squared. Now this time I have x to the second only. Well, it's the same thing. That just means I have to square root at the end, and there's two answers, a positive and a negative. So I subtract 1x second. I don't need a factor, okay? Not with x, not if that's all I have, if there's no x with it. 10 equals 6x second. Divide by 6. Okay, I want the 10 divided by 6. Okay. Okay, 1.6, just put 1.67. Then we're going to have to find the square root of 1.67. That cancels. Now you're just doing a square root, so you can do this old school second and then the x squared, because it's just a square root, because it was a second power, 1.67. That's 1.29, or it could be the negative 1.29. Okay, next problem. Make that minus plus negative 60. Okay, so when I'm rewriting my proportion here, x, negative 60x, and then 11x. So again, the same thing's going on with the LCD. Really the only thing I have in a denominator is outer x. Remember, having it on the top does not count as 1. 0, 1. I'm not even looking at top. 0. Okay, so x, we can just put that to the second. We already have our x there, and then x, you put that to the second. Then the same thing really ends up happening, okay? We end up with 1x to the second plus negative 60x, or plus negative 60, sorry, equals 11x to the second. Okay, now once again, okay, there's x second only. That just means there's two answers, and then I have to square root after I have divided. So I'm minus 1x second. That's 10x second. Now we divide by 10, but after we do that, we're going to have to find the square root. And that's negative 6 equals x second, okay? Now I find the square root, okay, and I can, again, square root's old school. Second, that, negative 6. I got a domain error, so you put I, and now you just square root positive 6. It means it's an imaginary solution, but I want to see it. I know that sounds really stupid. I hate even saying it. 2.45i, negative 2.45i. Okay, I'm going to go over these with you. Okay, this one's going to be a quickie. 4x, x empty, 5 empty. So really in the LCD, the only thing I have to worry about is that outer x factor. Got 1 in the first, 0 in the second, 0 in the third. Okay, everything needs 1 then. So x, just put a second, x, and x. Okay, then these can cancel. And this one's a little bit of a pain in the butt because we have 4 plus 1x to the second equals 5x. Okay, well, this is annoying because I have x second. I've also got regular x, okay? And that means we have to find two answers, but we have to find them through factoring. So we're going to minus 5x. Now, that doesn't really go with anything, so I just put minus 5x somewhere over there. But I have to order this correctly. It's going to be 1x second minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Now, to not annoy you as much, the GCF is 1, so I would cross that box out, so because you don't have very much room, so we're just going to go make our T-chart, okay? So 1 times 4 is positive 4, sum of 5. 1 and 4 is it, and the 5 was negative, so that means my 4 is negative, and a sum means they have to match on the signs. A is simply 1, so again... Okay, so I set the two factors, F1, F2. There was no GCF, so set each one equal to 0, and you have your two solutions. So you have 1 and 4. Kind of annoying that worked out that way. Okay, my next one. Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing these with you because these might give people fits. Okay, everything just drops down. Now when I'm trying to figure out my LCD though, I need to see where the factors are using my dots. So it's 3 dot x. There's no such, you got to separate the 3 from the x with multiplication. Then just a 6 and then same thing here. Because otherwise what idiots, sorry I don't want to use that term on video. What people do is they'll put outer 3x. No, it's outer x. Outer x. You don't put any numbers with outer x. You have outer 3, outer x, outer 6, meaning that there's not a parentheses, outer 3, which I already have, and outer x. There's no such thing as outer x to the second. There's no such thing as outer 3x. It's just outer x. So outer 3, you got 1, 0, and 1. Again, other teachers might have you do this a little bit differently. So everyone needs at least 1. So this needs a 3. Outer x, I got 1, none, and 1. So again, this guy needs an x. Outer 6, I got 0, 1, and 0. So these need to get their act together and get a 6 going. Okay, cross those out, and this is going to be an easy one, okay? You can have 12. 1 times 3 is 3, times x is 3x, then 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, now I have just x only here, okay? So I don't need to factor. Let's get the x by itself. Minus 12 takes me to 12. 3 times x is 12. Then divide by 3, and x is 8. The reason why this was so annoying because when I got done with all the stuff and found all the products, I ended up with x second and x. So everything has to go to one side and set up the factoring.